think the stat is we might be the earliest ever that a team has like locked up a bid to the NCAA tournament. What was that feeling like when you guys saw North Alabama win last night?
Well, I think you're wrong because the Ivy League used to not have a tournament, so their regular season champ would be crowned earlier than this.
Yeah.
See, Dame?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling is, I alluded to it last night on, I think, our post game. You know, when we were in the ACC or some of the other high major leagues I've been a part of, you know, you can kind of tell when you're going to be an at-large, your resume has earned an opportunity to, you know, have access to the tournament, so you didn't have the same pressure going into your conference postseason tournament. But not in the ASUN or the Big South, the conferences that we either reside in now or have resided in. And I think there's a little bit of that burden taken off our shoulders. And that being said, you know, what you do every day is more important than what you do every once in a while, and we want to keep improving. So though we know we're going to the tournament, which is great, that's a blessing. We're grateful to have a chance to win another conference championship tournament on tomorrow.
Hey, Coach, can you just elaborate on that? I asked Blake this a minute ago. Is there an element to this? Hey, we can just go in and have fun, play loose, let it hang out. There's not a lot of pressure, but also maintaining our edge, maintaining sort of that winning edge.
Yeah, how did he answer that? How did Blake answer that?
He said, you know, it's a fine line. He said, we got to go in and do the things we've been doing, but there is, you know, a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I think he got it right. I don't think you're the competitor that you need to be if you take it lightly. Again, this is a chance for us to keep getting better, to win both our regular season and our conference championship, which in past history has meant more to the selection committee than just winning one or the other. So I feel like there's opportunities for us still that are afforded to us in this game, and hopefully we have a sense of urgency in our approach that warrants, you know, the standard being adhered to.
You guys had the luck. Oh, go ahead, John.
Coach, you guys will play Jamal Pro in your fourth straight conference championship game, and you've been, you know, won 3 straight regular season titles, going for a third straight tournament championship. You know, can you just put into words maybe how difficult, you know, those type of accomplishments are?
Yeah, no, I can't put into words. I can just tell you, I have very little sleep this time of year. It's such a grind, and in a season like this, where we've had to navigate so much, I'm so pleased with our group. So thankful to the Lord, and just the privilege of being around or being a part of this family. I think what our group has accomplished is admirable. I don't know how many mid-majors have done what this group has accomplished, but that being said, the competitor in me, I want to keep building it. You know, everyone references Gonzaga. I think there's only one Gonzaga, but I do think there's room for growth in our program, and we want to keep climbing. But I know after the season is over, we'll look back and feel really good about what we've been able to accomplish.
Could you have envisioned this group doing what they've done at the beginning of the year, especially, you know, I know you talked about it this year, the guys that you lost, and Scotty and Caleb and Mayo and Georgie and some of those guys?
I try and never, good question, Travis. I try and never put a ceiling on our group. I just think I've done that in the past, and I think once you hit that mark, then you kind of relax. So did I envision it? No, but I don't really ever predict how many games we're going to win, or, you know, our goal is always going to be to compete for a championship or championships, and I think that's kind of been the mindset that this group has had all year long.
Rick, we talked quite a bit over the summer, and we always had the question of what if, And what if last year COVID never struck and you had a chance with the group last year? And the talk's always resounded around, that group coming in with the program was down, 20 lost seasons, bottom dwellers. You can look at RPI, net rankings, and now with the group that has come in and built off that legacy of those four that graduated to go through the season unlike any other with the COVID, the testing, uncertainty of playing. Can you put into words the feelings that you've experienced in the last 360 days of the euphoria of winning last year's ASUN title with an old team, that they're not going to the NCAA tournament, and taking a team with question marks and outside question marks and getting back to the NCAA tournament?
I mean, that March 12, 2020, the day we had to tell our guys that the NCAA tournament was canceled, it was a hard day. Yet we were just in the onset of this global pandemic, so it reframed the season and what we were going through. We were able to maybe put what we didn't get or our own disappointments aside in order to try and be a part of just something bigger than ourselves. So that for Caleb, Scotty, Georgie, and Mayo, those questions don't ever go away. What if? And my heart goes out for them because they labored hard, and they labored really hard in order to get our program to this point of its evolution. That being said, I think the guys who had it taken away last year, and with the different circumstances that could afford you in any given day, you test positive, you go on pause, I just think our guys have done a really good job of appreciating the opportunity to have the ball get thrown up and we get to play. So the accomplishment of winning the regular season championship was really good, but I think you can see that our guys weren't satisfied with just that, and I think they'll show up tomorrow and give a great effort, and I think we'll get to Indianapolis with a desire to see if we can compete and give our very best.
John with Hoop HD, I know you jumped on later. Do you have anything?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey John, how are you?
Good. I apologize for being like, just wanted to know about when you get to the NCAA tournament and have to face a team maybe like a Purdue or Missouri or that caliber, since you've played teams like that. It seems like your three-point shooting against those teams is a little below your average, which obviously they're great teams, so that's nothing to lose sleep over. But do you think you need to make threes in mid-March to beat teams in mid-March?
It would help. I think, our guys, we've won a few games against high major programs over the last couple of years, John, so I don't think our guys will be afraid. I don't know how many we made against South Carolina, but I think it was a few, and then Mississippi State we played decently. So it always helps your cause when you're making threes, but I do think we've been able, and I'm sure you haven't seen us play as much, and obviously the competition in the NCAA tournament will be different than the league we play in, but it's still a league game, and those are still hard to win, and we've had poor shooting nights and still been able to be victorious, hopefully because we have a sense of identity on the defensive end, and then we've got some other options when we're not making threes.